Welcome back to Daytime Ottawa. We are joined by Snyder. She's co-owner of LiquidGym, which I have to be honest with you, I had not heard of before today, but you are in your second year of business, so congratulations.
Well, thank you very much.
And I have to ask, let's start from the beginning. What exactly is LiquidGym?
LiquidGym is a physiotherapy and a training center, but our specialty is hydrotherapy. So our big thing is hydrotherapy. We actually have 3,000 square feet, where you can see some of the pictures here. Wow. 3,000 square feet of aquatics.
So we have
we have 4 pools, 4 different pools, and we have treadmills that are in the water that you actually, as you're walking in the water, you can see yourself up here. So we also have bikes, and we also have an endless pool swim current, so you swim against the pool, but you don't go anywhere, so you can get exercise without going anywhere. And of all other things that we have in the pools, we have upper and lower body stations for therapy if you've been injured and rehab. Okay. So that's the therapy side. We also have a training side. So these individuals here are actually involved in the class that we have, so you can come if you're not one that you normally go to the gym on your own and you want to come as a class. We have different classes that you can attend in the water and on land.
That's fantastic. One thing I've always wondered about working out in the water, let's say I'm running 20 minutes on a treadmill in the water in this case, do I get the same benefits as if the treadmill were out of the water, or do I get more or less? How does that work?
Actually, good question. A lot of people, one of the things is when you get to the water and water's up to here, 90% of your body weight's eliminated. Okay. So if you weigh 100 pounds, you now weigh 10 pounds in the water. But what happens, the buoyancy is great, but there's actually 12% more resistance. So as you're running in the water, it's actually harder. So people say, oh, it's harder. So if I can't run on land, can I run in the water? But because of the buoyancy, it's an oxymoron. It's actually easier, but you get the benefit of the resistance.
Well, see, now I'm learning that I've been doing this all along. My girlfriend and I, when it gets too hot in the summertime, we don't run. We run around the pool in circles, and then when it gets too hard, we run the other way. So, you know, I've been doing it. I didn't even know. But I have to ask now, Karen, so how did you come to find this? How did you come to create this
Well,
awesome
actually,
gym?
it was because of a hockey injury, actually. I had 7 years ago. I was playing hockey, and I was taken out from behind, and I broke my leg. And I ended up with knee and ankle damage, but from a bad thing, develops a good thing.
Right.
So within 6 months of that injury, we ended up in the States looking at alternatives, and we found these treadmills, and we decided to bring them up here. We've set up, as you say, the second year now.
Fantastic.
How does that compare to traditional physiotherapy? Because when I think about physio, I've had some sports injuries myself, and I call them the sadist because it's painful, but this sounds much more leisurely.
Yeah, it's interesting you say painful. One of the things, so we are traditional physiotherapy. We have 5 physiotherapists on staff, but our specialty is hydrotherapy. Okay. So when you come for an assessment, the physio will actually deem what's appropriate for you to do, whether it's in water or on land. If you go in the water, because of when you get into water, your joints are actually, because there's no gravity that's forcing the joints together, you can do a lot more in the water than you can on land. So a lot of times when people say, oh, I hate going to physio because it hurts, a lot of our patients will come out and say, my goodness, I can do so much here because it doesn't hurt.
See, that's the thing I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around, is that you get so many benefits from working in the water, though technically it feels easier.
Yeah. But because of the resistance, you can do more. So a lot of range of motion that you couldn't normally do on land because of physio, because of an injury. Well, in the water, because you don't have the gravity, you have that release, you're able to do that range of motion a lot easier. That's
so let's go back to your open house. Again, happy second year anniversary.
Yes, tomorrow.
I've got the agenda, and it's jam-packed for our second year anniversary.
So what do people expect?
Actually, we're open from 7:30 in the morning until 7 at night. We have presentations running throughout the morning starting at 10 o'clock. We have a number of partners that are coming in to do the presentations. We actually have 4 physiotherapists. The Heart Institute, Jennifer Harris is going to be coming in and talk about heart-wise programs. Oh, great. We have the Arthritic Society, actually Gail Peterson is going to be coming in, and she's doing a talk about, everything is obviously geared to the exercise, but arthritis and exercise. Diabetes Association is also having Melanie, she's going to be coming in and talk about exercise and diabetes. We have Parkinson individual that does, Susan Templin is going to be coming in and talking about Parkinson's and what things you can do for exercise that helps with Parkinson's. So a number of different things.
That's amazing. And are there typical people that come to do these types of exercises?
Typical. I mean, if they're coming for, let's say, hip and knee replacement, because we're 5 minutes from Queensway Carleton Hospital, obviously that's a certain marketplace, a certain age of person that's going to be coming for that. But if somebody has an injury and say they broke their leg, they can be at any age, they come and receive the therapy that's required. It's
And would your services continue? Like I'm thinking, okay, so I've had a sports injury, I've broken my leg, as a for instance, and I'm coming to see you, and then now I'm healed, so to speak. Do I continue with you and work out on the treadmill all the time? That's right.
That's exactly why we set up the model the way we did. We have the physiotherapy, but we also have the gym component. So the gym. So once you go as a patient through physio, you may or may not be discharged, but you can actually buy a gym membership. So then you can come, like these individuals. Some of these may be patients, some of them may just be gym members. So they can come, rent time on the treadmill, rent time on the bikes or the endless swim current, and vice versa.
Wow,
so
amazing.
it works. So we are a gym at the same time as we are a physio clinic.
And I understand there are over 300 doctors in the Ottawa area that refer their patients to
Actually,
the
we
gym.
have grown phenomenal.
How have you built that?
Well,
in such a
it's
short
actually
period
going
of time?
to, well, I typically go to about 18 trade shows a year.
Wow.
And a lot of them are doc specific or industry specific trade shows.
She's the queen of networking.
Yeah, did you learn about the PR? How to market yourself?
You know what? It's just a great product. It's easy to market.
Absolutely.
You know, people just see. So we have actually 300 as of today, 344 docs that directly refer physicians. I shouldn't call them docs. Physicians that directly refer to us.
That is so
for whatever,
impressive.
whether it be diabetes, whether it be heart institute, whether it be arthritis.
What would be the great first steps for someone that would like to get involved with LiquidGym?
Tomorrow would be perfect to come in if you can. It's an open house. It's open, Member Appreciation Day, but it's also for individuals to come in. We'll give you a tour. You can actually try a class if you want. Again, sit in on the presentations. So that's the first step. If you're not available tomorrow, just give us a call. And liquidgym.ca, you can find our number there. And give us a call and we can book an orientation. Actually, anybody that wants to come for an actual orientation. So that's the gym component. It's a free half-hour orientation and it's one-on-one. With an individual in the water, if you're not looking to come for therapy, for physio.
So what about the skeptics? And I'm not saying that I'm one, but so those who are used to the traditional, acupuncture, physiotherapy, or just working it out, like how do we common folk who don't necessarily have the doctor to refer you know when is it time to come see you and why would I choose yours
to come
over?
see us? I think the biggest thing is before we even opened, we looked at what was available in the States. And there were 30 studies at that point, because that's one of the biggest things. I want to be sure when I open this complex that it actually made sense, that it was evidence-based. And that's one of the things we did look at. So it is, what we're doing in the water is evidence-based for the physicians to be referring us to us. The number itself, 344 that refer,
that's huge.
that we're seeing the results now. I mean, we're seeing individuals that are coming in and their therapy is taking less time because they're able to do so much more in the water.
Would you say that's a demographics thing because of the age of the population?
Not
or would you say
necessarily.
this is for young and old?
It's for young and old. No, not necessarily that they're recovering any faster because they're older. I mean, just generally people are recovering faster because they're able to do more. It's not that we have special water, it's just that they're able to do more in the water and they're able to move. And
You mentioned special water, and I was just thinking about the
we don't want
spas
to go
that
there.
have. Okay, I won't ask that question then. I was going to say the floating pool, the big, deep, the Dead Sea ones.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
We're actually chlorine-based. That's interesting you say that. We're not saline-based, we're chlorine-based. But each one of our pools have a separate chlorine system, so it's very well monitored. So, and last question I do get, which is there electricity going into the pool?
Oh,
Right.
I didn't even think about
we
that.
always
That's
get that.
actually a very good
So
question.
That's right. How do you plug those
One
in?
of the things is it's all hydraulic based.
Okay.
So it's hydraulic, so it's fluid. It's actually biodegradable vegetable oil that's pumped through these large hoses. I'm just looking to see if I can see a hose that's coming through. So these are the hoses down here that's pumped into. There's 2 motors on each one of the treadmills, a motor that powers the track itself, and then there's a jet of water. Now they are powered by fluid, and the fluid, the motors to those fluids are in 2 mechanical rooms that are many feet away. So as far as electricity, there's not an issue as having any problems with electricity into the water.
Good to know.
It's a big concern for people.
Oh, of course.
I can see myself spending a lot of time just watching the TV, but it's just myself. It's not Dr. Phil.
No,
or
it's
anything.
not.
There's
No, it's
Ellen
not
going on
TSN.
there.
So if you're watching, so there's an individual that's running. So if somebody has a gait issue, whether they're the muscles of atrophy, they have weaker muscles, they can actually walk or they can run and they can see how they're doing that foot plint.
How their
So
form
somebody has
is.
Parkinson's or MS or other neurological conditions, they take that step, they can actually see and do an immediate correction.
That's
so that's
interesting.
why
That's
so we have 8 treadmills,
amazing.
and each one of the treadmills has its own camera.
And did you mention bikes as well?
Yes,
in
we
there?
do have actually over here. We do have a gentleman
look
that's
at
on a
that.
bike.
Okay.
Actually, those are the bikes that are being used in the Heart Institute in Montreal.
Oh, wow.
And that's why we brought those bikes up here.
Well, it's perfect. And see, now you mentioned the Heart Institute, so that's great. So again, how can people find you?
Actually, if you go to liquidgym.ca, or our phone number is area code 613-820-8228.
Fabulous.
So now that
Thank
our
you.
hearts are better and we've done all of our
Yes.
cardio,
Yes.
we're going to be back on the show shortly with Dr. Roland Sabah. And we're going to be talking about cardiology and hearts and how to stay healthy. So that's perfect. Thank you very much, Karen.
Thank you.
Very much.
We'll be back on Daytime.